So, hi guys, welcome again to another video, and for this video I'll be teaching you, or this will be the tutorial in CCNA 1, which is the chapter 1. This is the tutorial video, and this is entitled Explore the Network. So first I'll be discussing some terms about in this chapter, and after that we're gonna be answer the activities here in chapter 1. So let's start. So first, let's define a client and server. So we have here different kinds or types of a client server, and now we have file client and file server, web client and web server, email client and email server. So let's define first the client and server. So it is a model distributed application structure that partitions tasks or workloads between the providers of the resource or service, which is called the server, and the service requesters, which is the client. So it is a central computer, also known as server, and which hosts data, other forms of resources. Clients such as laptop and desktop computer contacts with the server and requests to use data or share each other resources with it. So excuse me. So it is designed for the end user, which is what we call the client. So to access the resources such as files, songs, video collection, and some other devices from the central computer are called server. So the server's sole purpose is to do what the name implies. So server its client. So serve is its client. So you have been using this configuration and not even have known it. And now let's define the file server and the file client. Excuse me, I have cups and cold, so it stores cooperate or corporate and user files in the central location. So the client device access this file with the client software such as the Windows Explorer. So now let's proceed to the web client and the web server. So it runs a web server software or client. Use their browser software such as Windows Internet Explorer to access pages on the server. And for the email and client, so it runs email server software, and clients use their email or the mail client software such as the Microsoft Outlook to access email on the server. So let's proceed to the next slide. Which we have here is the peer-to-peer. So it usually the client or the client and server software usually runs on a separate computer, but it also possible for one computer to carry out both roles at the same time. So in a small businesses and homes, many of computer function as the server and clients on the network. So this type of work is what we call the peer-to-peer. So now let's proceed to the advantages of peer-to-peer. So excuse me. So first we have easy to get up and less complexity. Lower cost since a network device are dedicated services or servers may not be required. So it can be used for the simple tasks such as transferring file to and sharing printers. So the disadvantages of peer-to-peer is no centralized administration and not as secure, not scalable, and all device may act as both clients and servers, which can show their performance. So let's proceed to the components of the network. So this one is for the devices. So we have here the devices, and the next one we have the media here, and this one is for the service. So it is a path that a message take from a source to destination can be simple as a single cable connecting one computer to another, or a complex as a collection of a networks that are literally spans the globe. So this network infrastructure provides the stable and reliable channel ever which this communication occur. So now let's proceed to the NetAcad or the Cisco. So now let's proceed to the activity. We have here this will be the site of where you can access the Cisco. So excuse me. So you have to launch the course, and we'll see there is a different chapter. So it includes the learnings that we will learn in this CCNA1. So we're gonna be doing this, the explore the network. So we all know that our network today is very helpful in our daily lives. So it can easily help us in such a different way. So for example, the you have to communicate with your friends or family relatives which is from the other country or places. So you'll just use the cell phone or the laptops or the tablets to have communication with them. So now, excuse me. So it also helps us in our learning. So we have different sites for us to learn something new or anything about what happened. So we can access also the news here in the internet. So you don't need to use newspaper, but you can use the newspaper. So it support in our daily lives the using of the network. So now let's proceed to the activity here. So first we have the device category, which is the end devices, intermediary devices, and the network media. So we have to the Google. Excuse me. So here we'll be putting the end devices. So for you, what is end devices? So in my first hearing this word, I don't have a background or knowledge of what is this end devices. So after I read some of the meanings or the definitions of end devices, eh, end device are the things that we use or the technology that we use. So for example, for example, we have the phones, laptops, and printers, and television, and etc. So that is the example of end devices. So next we have the intermediary devices. So the example of this is the router, the switch, the firewall, and etc. So for the next one, we have the excuse me, network media. So the example of this network media is the wireless LAN, if I'm not mistaken, or wireless media, and LAN media, and the WAN media. So let's answer this, and we will put the functions of each device category. So for the end devices, so It is a interface between the human and the network. So as the definition or function that has given, so it is a connection or interface of the human and the network. So here that we have the what we can touch, and it can connect to the network. So for the next one, we have the intermediary devices. So it is a connectivity that ensures data flows across the network. So it is the not technology but the things we use to connect or the flow of the network occurs. So for the last one, we have network media that provides a channel for a message to travel from source to the destination. So this is the what we need for us to have connection with the destination. So let's check. So that's correct. So now we will be putting the examples here in the representation. So first we will be here in the end devices. So we have the phone, the laptops, the printer, the television or the tablet, the PC, and the television. So for the intermediary, we have the switch, the firewall, the router, the multiplayer switch, and the wireless router. So for the network media, we have this one for WAN and wireless and LAN. So now we will be putting the names of each icon. So this icon or logo, you can see this in the packet tracer. So we will use that for configuring such as differ when we create a small network. So first, let's start with this. We have the phone, the laptop, and this is the television, and we have here the printer and desktop computer and the wireless tablet. So here we have the firewall, the router, this is the LAN switch, the multiplayer switch, the wireless router, and here we have the LAN media, the wireless media, and the WAN. So let's check. So we have successfully entered the correct answer. So now let's proceed to the. So we all know that we have different excuse me, different types of networks. So here we have the LAN, the WAN, the SAN, the MAN, the WLAN. So as we encounter this, the LAN is just for a small geographical area only. So here is the LAN in a small network. So for the LAN, or for the WAN, we have the wide geographical area that covers the LAN. So here it handles the LAN, and for the MAN we have the it is a larger than the LAN but smaller than one. So there are similar differences. For example, is the city, and it is operated by the single entity such as the large organization. So we have the wireless LAN. So is it is just a LAN but it is a wireless. So for the SAN, it is a network that can provide a data storage for each and everything. So now let's proceed to the next activity. Excuse me. So here the reliable network. So we have here the fault tolerance, the scalability, the quality of service, and the security. So let's define first the definition of each. So this is the network architecture. So it has a reliable network. So it connected in fault tolerance, scalability, quality of service, and the security. So let's first define the fault tolerance. So internet is always available of millions user who can rely it. So this is a network that limits the impact failure so that the fewer number of devices are affected. So it is also built in the way that allows the quick recovery from when such failure occurs. So it depends on multiple paths between the source and the destination of the message. So if the one path fails, the message is instantly sent over a different link. So having a multiple path to a destination is known as redundancy. And now for the scalability. So we have here it can expand quickly to support a new users and application without impacting the performance of the service being delivered to a existing user. So for the quality of service, we have it is an never increasing requirement of network today. So the new application uses over the Ether network. So for example, the voice, and the live video transmission create higher expectation for the quality of that deliver the services. So for the security, we have the three types, which is the confidentiality, the integrity, and the availability. So it is a crucial personal and business asset. So there are two types of network security that must be addressed. So we have the network infrastructure and the information security. So now let's just answer this activity. So first, for the fault tolerance, so the network should be always available at the same time, and data can travel the one route for the delivery from a remote and source. So for the scalability, we have the network can grow with a minimal impact on the performance, and common network standards allow hardware. And for the quality of service, it has a priority quiz that implemented when the demand for a network, and developing plan for priority is the quality of each service. So it prioritizes the needs of the network. So for the security, we have the business and the personal network must be protected. So there is the keyword, the protected, so we need to secure it, and same with this. So now let's check. So all of these are correct. So now let's answer the last activity here, which is the network security. And for me, the denial the denial of service and the virus, worms, and the Trojan horse, and we have the firewall and the 0-day and the virtual private. So let's define for this the denial of service. So it is a types or the kinds of attacks attacks that makes the equipment excuse me, and programs to be slow or slows down. And for the virus and worms, and it is a code which code running which are called the arbitrary. So for the next one, we have the firewall. So it protects or or blocks an authorized access. So for the 0-day, we have a it is a attack that occurs on the first day of the vulnerability. And for the virtual private, so it is a secure connections. So this is the some brief definition for this terminology. So now I'll just answer this based on what I've given to you, the definition here. So there is such a keyword. So for the denial of service, it is a attack which is slow down. So the term denial is somehow connected to slow down. So that this is the answer. So here it creates a secure network connection, and the keyword here is the private. So it is somehow connected with the secure. And for the firewall, it blocks the unauthorized access. So from the word firewall, which is the keyword is the wall, so it protects and blocks. So here we have the 0-day, so it occurs on the first day, so that's the keyword. And for the last one, we have the virus arbitrary. It is for the arbitrary code for the user device. So let's check. So that's all correct. So that's all for this video. So this is somehow the summary of this. So I'll discuss this summary in my previous video. So if you doesn't watch it, so just search in my channel. So that's all for today's video. Thank you for watching. See you again on the next video.